Well, I'm Jeff McLean. I live in the city of Lancaster, but I work in a very suburban context. I work at a church called East Petersburg Mennonite Church. It is a church that has been around since 1720. So it is one of those old churches. So the thing is, when you've been around for 1720, it's really hard to change. It's really hard to look at mission in new ways. We have moved into the quadrant of community in an unhealthy way of this. We have become committed to each other to make church happen. We've been committed to each other to make sure that Sunday morning happens. I'm not saying this defines East Peter. I'm saying this defines all churches that are as old as we are. When East Petersburg Mennonite Church started, it actually started very organically. That sense of organic, that sense of neighborhood has followed us since 1720. When you talk to a neighbor in East Petersburg, they say, "Oh, you're from the church on the hill." But unfortunately, as churches get older, they get more structured and they become committed to each other. When we see these churches that are churches on mission, and they start to take risks, and they start to realize there's a clash with the way things have been done, we see that they are willing to step out of this a little bit. And what happens is they start to analyze the organic a little more. East Petersburg is in the process of doing this. When I came on board, I asked them, "How well do you know your neighborhood? Could you tell me something about their kids or their family life?" And unfortunately, we've become so committed at doing Sunday morning in our churches that we've actually lost touch with the reality of the people that are around us. So one of the things that we did is we wanted to reflect this new drive of rediscovering who our community is, and we redid our mission statement. It used to be serving in love. Now it is a community learning to live and love like Jesus. So the first thing we did was say, hey, we need to cast a new vision. And then the next thing that we did was I invited people to join me in a mission of becoming more intentional in the neighborhood. I wouldn't say that everyone is there yet, but one of the things that happened is I decided that I wanted to be really intentional. And I realized that there's something about this old parish pastor model that he's in the neighborhood, he's connected to the church, and he's just present everywhere you go. And so I have this theory when I work somewhere that I want to live, breathe, play, and work within the neighborhood. So I started by doing little things that we can all do. I like to get my hair cut, so instead of getting it cut downtown where I live, I decided to start getting it done in Gladfelder's, which is in East Pete. If you want to know the town gossip, move into the barber shop. And the other thing that happens is they don't necessarily ask what you do for a job right away. They first tell you about their life as they're cutting your hair, and they drop some explicitives, and then they say, by the way, what do you do for a living? Well, I'm the pastor of the street. Whoa, way. Same thing. I like to hang out in the pub on the corner just to hear the gossip and get to know people, and then they find out, well, what do you do while you're eating your hamburger there? Well, I'm the pastor that's on the property right across the street. Whoa, yeah, that's not good. So as we did that, I decided that I also wanted to define what this word missional meant. I'm asking people to be missional. We're asking people to be missional. And I saw that this looked different to everyone. The word missional to some people just meant evangelism. Just meant getting people saved. To other people, they viewed it as doing justice. For other people, they thought it meant we have to do stuff for them. So we define the word missional in our community now as this: learning to embody, demonstrate, and announce the reigning goodness and good news of the kingdom of God. And as we did that, I made my presence known in a local borough meeting, and all of a sudden people were coming to the church saying, we're a local business owner and we want to help a neighbor. Can you tell us who we should help? All of a sudden, we became a player in the neighborhood again. Something else that happened is I told people, hey, my time is your time. I want to be focused on you. Well, the school was about to have to close down their basketball program. So they reached out to the churches and to the people in the community and said, this thing's going to be closed down. We don't have enough coaches. And so I do not play basketball. I enjoy baseball. I do not understand the idea of basketball. I couldn't tell you what a foul was, but I am a basketball coach. What was the thing that we wrote down earlier about making us uncomfortable for who we are now? The thing that I've come to realize about this is not only do I have to example what I'm calling people to, but I actually have to change who I am even more for people to watch what it means. Sure, you still get the people that will come up to you and say, "Oh, you really practice what you preach, good job!" But it's constantly inviting people to be co-conspirators of this. And we can constantly see more and more people in the church that are just practicing. I'm just excited about this as in a suburban setting, as the neighborhood is not as connected as an urban feeling, but they're starting to see the church as a connection point, and that excites me.